Hi there, Miss Kory. How are you? I kept wondering why your hashtag didn't show up. It was because I was typing archaeology instead of archaeologist. I'm slow. No, actually, it's just some things I just pay more attention to than others. How about that? Have you had a chance to start class yet? While we are waiting for folks to join us in the live room, if you're watching this on replay, you can fast forward. We can keep our social distancing through live videos. So this is our sit and chat time. I'm serious. I think I've been out in the sun twice in 6 weeks. I've got plenty to do in the studio. I don't think I'll ever get bored. And I got my new bins today. Now I've got to tear the studio apart. Hi, Beck. I've been missing you lately. We're just going to sit and wait a little bit. What you been up to? I saw you doing some gardening. Randy has a good friend that's a horticulturist, and she gave him a bunch of seeds yesterday. I suspect we're going to have a garden, but that's what he likes to do. So, everything's cool with that. He's afraid we're all going to run out of meat. And I'm a carnivore, so, that's not going to be a good thing if Vicki can't have her meat. Oh, I saw that. Those are cool. I can have nothing 3D in my house. It has to be flat. And even running out of space for that. You just heard me gulping the last of my Slim Fast lunch. Sometimes my body just doesn't want solid food unless it's nighttime and I'm wanting meat. Oh, that's what I need. There we go. I like polymer clay. There we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Down with the sound. I like sculpture. I like just straight old sculpture. I've done some of it. Hey, Dr. D, I haven't seen you in a while. I've seen your retweets on my channel, so I guess we are kindred spirits. Lost my train. Doesn't matter. I forgot my lipstick. I gotta have that. Nope. It's not the end of a Crayola marker. I wish I could have Lynn Wessel come help me with the studio. Where is it? She likes to organize other people's stuff. There it is. I hope so. We got our whatever you call it check yesterday. I'm grateful for getting it. But I spent a couple hours one night setting up what I thought was a way to get it through the bank. And I even went through PayPal and, went through the government site. There were no instructions that a human could follow. And then I finally read that if you were already getting your Social Security checks electronically, that they would use that address. Well, they didn't, so we got it in the mail. Glad to have it. But anyway, we've been getting mail. Well, I'm glad Dr. D thinks that we've got this. I'm not too sure. I think I'll leave that little bottle out. No, I want this little bottle. I love this little Tim Holtz sprayer, and for only $5, it's great. Plus, I bought mine, used my coupon. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. I would say they need more women, but the couple that are there aren't exactly doing us any favors, so I'm not sure what the solution is. Well, actually, you know me, I have my ideas. But I'm going to go. Okie dokie. I kind of like getting the hard check, though, so we could see all the notes and memos and everything. Not going to frame it on the wall, though. I could photograph it and use it for collage. That would be good. Stick it down and then cover it. Generally, I think that, did y'all ever read, if you haven't, you might check out The Myths of Avalon. And I read that book 30 years ago. And it made such an impression on me that I've never forgotten it. But it was a book written about the time when the church took over England. Don't quote me on this, Dot. I fill in the blanks. Took over and made it a patriarchal society instead of what had always been a calm, quiet, stable matriarchal society. And Avalon was where the women in that, what was it called? What's it called? It was an island, and you had to go through mist to get to it. So that was where the powerful women lived. So anyway, I think that not every woman is good, but I think that we could overpower the ones that weren't. There, I'm off my soapbox. Well, Dee, I'd go get them for you. If I could. I just can't leave things open with no data to back it up. That to me is stupidity at its finest. The economy isn't going to be worth a damn thing if there's anybody to go shop. And at this point, 90% of us don't have the money to spend on shopping and going out to eat and pretending everything's just fine. So, all right. I think we've waited. It's time to go. I found out about this from Patti Parrish, who is in our Robyn McClendon's jelly team. And I avoided like the plague anything to do with Photoshop or drawing with a tablet or a pencil, the Apple Pencil, although I've got one. Because when I quit graphic design and 10 hours a day of doing graphics for trash. That's what we always call graphic design. If you're good, somebody will read the trash before they throw it away. So it took me about 3 or 4 years to break the habit of doing everything through the computer and then putting it on paper or trying to paint it. So because I was using the computer as a crutch, and I needed to learn how to paint without the crutch. It's a tool just like anything else. So anyway, this class is about Photoshop grunge, and it resembles the compositions that we make, we meaning Robyn and her team, out of collage and jelly prints and stuff like that. So it's putting things together in Photoshop, and it's actually teaching me some things that I had no reason to know before. And I've gone through, I think, 5 modules. And other than the fact that he is, in my opinion, getting things out of order, he shows you the things you remember, things to remember before he tells you how to do the things. And to me, that's just damn backwards, because I've spent more time trying to figure out, well, what's he talking about right here in this? Did I miss it? So anyway, that's my problem so far. I think it's going to be my only one. However, I am learning. So that's the main thing. And being reminded of some things that I've forgotten or knew about, but never really needed to enjoy. Hi, Joyce. So I thought, well, maybe if I use artwork that I've created to make these electronic compositions, that might be fun. So I started with this girl that I had done. I painted her with pan pastels on a jelly plate, and then pulled a print on wrinkled used packing paper. It was khaki colored, and all the wrinkles that were in the paper, of course, crisscrossed around her face. So I did that. And the texture that's in there that's kind of pink is from an alcohol ink on Yupo thing that I had done. So I thought, well, that's a good way to use that. And it turned out, this is very rough now because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And then this is a piece of jelly print that looked like an old wall, and it's in brighter golds. And this little thing was a doodle thing that I did when Prince died. So that was done with colored pencil. So that's as far as I am. Of course, the edges are there, and you could tweak these things forever. And I was going to get rid of this. Last night I thought, hey, yuck, that purple's down there, but it just matches. So I need to just tone it down a little bit. And all these purples. And this is just serendipity. It's like, okay, what am I going to use for a background? Okay, go through the Photos app and pick one and go with it. Because when you've got about 50,000 pieces of stuff that you've done, you can't spend any time picking. So there's that. And I did some journaling on Tuesday, if y'all missed it. The Robyn's Jelly team is, there's 4 of us. It's Patti, Tolley, Parrish, Rachel Clark Bellamy. She's Soul Rain, SOULREIGN. I figure she's going to be dropping in here in a little bit. She's still working some government thing. And Kory, Archaeologist. I got that, didn't I? Just barely. Kory's in, or she was earlier. Me and Robyn McClendon. So what we're doing is sharing each other's printables, which is, again, this would be classified a printable. So Rachel's doing alterations of the printables before she uses them. Kory is doing some magnificent demos of books that she's used the printables on. So they're doing more project-based. Patti, Tolley, Parrish, and I are doing more collage-based. And then I'm splitting away and I'm doing more of my portrait work on the printables. So each one of us is going in our own direction, and it's really making it fun. And then when you do a collage, take a picture of it and you've got another printable. So that's what I mean by this goes on forever. And this is from my little faux memo printer that I just love. I think it's so cool. It prints thermal on paper that wide. And the minute that you go through the app, send it to print, it's already coming out. Now it's black and white. And then I went back in with watercolor and just hit the highlights. And I really think I like that better than a color printer. Come on now. If I could get you up there with all this stuff that's in the way. It's not going to focus because I can't get it up there high enough. So that's what I did the other day. Okay, that was Tuesday. And I then did one page in my Jelly Junkadori is what Robyn calls it. It's like a traveler's book. I did this page using scraps that were left over from the big book. And jelly Wakley tape. And I used some of the chalk paste. So there's that book, and this book was made by Robyn. I won it in a drawing that she had, so I'm real proud of this. But when this one gets full, I just take out all these intermediate pages and transfer them to another group of these pages and make a book out of them, and make more pages of just papers and, you know, things, coffee dyed papers, and go again for the next round. So there's that one. I was in a crabapple mood on Tuesday, so this helped. And I just did this little page. I like my mini journal. Now I can get that up there because it's not so big. And this is a piece of, I don't know what it is. It's not rice paper, but it's one of those Asian papers that I got from Gwen LaFleur. She's got some really pretty stuff. And so that was what I did on Tuesday. Now then, back over here. I appreciate y'all being here, by the way, because with everybody being off, there's a bunch of folks on all the time. We're going to move forward. I wish Rachel would get where she can come on. This is what I mean by painting. Well, not that, because that's me. This is what I mean by painting a portrait on one of the printables. This paper is Kory's paper, and she does more organic. This is eco dyeing. It's got a leaf on it. So I thought that worked well with a Native American Indian. These pages, for those of you who don't know, are in the Dina Wakley Media Journal, and it's got all kinds of paper in it. So what I did when I started thinking about this, and I had the oxide, distress oxides. So I went through a lot of these pages and just, you know, splash some color on. Well, these are really too bright. Look at that one. But then I can come back in and either use a distress spray or any kind of spray, or a little paint. You can dull down the colors. Coffee, I've done that. This one I think had some coffee on it. And in some cases I had put little, looks like tissue, coffee dyed tissue on top, but I also toned it down. This little girl or lady is using Rachel's printables. All this blue part is collage from her printables. So like I said, I'm using this book, this one over here that I did of me. I had already put some chiffon on this page to help it keep the paint from soaking into the, in this case, the burlap. This one's colored pencil. And I don't really like the burlap a whole lot unless you can chunk a whole bunch of paint on it first to make it smooth. So that brings me to, here's some of that chiffon just glued on over the distress pads. And this was my first experiment with Casein. This is supposed to look like an old icon. And this is using Venetian plaster on top of a portrait to assimilate that it's, assimilate, that's not even a word. Look like an old fresco that you find and pieces of it missing, and you know, they've plastered over it over the years. And these were the first two. This is gouache and this is soft pastel, pan pastel. And I keep a little piece of paper on top of it. It's not going to smear any more than that, but just that somebody who looks through the book is going to be careful. Now, this is where I am with this project for today. I didn't want to paint any more burlap, yeah, obviously. And this page, this is the original page left over from the oxide. I didn't do anything to it except I came in with fossilized amber and kind of got into the gully down here and kind of colored it up. These papers are from Rachel's printables, and the links to all of our links and I mean all of how you can buy them and all that stuff is down below. So I thought, and I had already taken, I'm jumping all around, I'm sorry. I had already taken her printables and wrinkled them all up and wet them because this is an inkjet. I like the way the patterns fade. And you get some really cool color fading. And then I put coffee on it. So that's the story of this. So I thought, I looked and I had one that matched the background here perfect. Again, just serendipity. You don't force it. You just look and see what you've got. And then this one was another one of her printables. And because this one looked kind of darkish, and I had this epiphany in the middle of the night. I don't know if I should tell you all of it, but I saw this as bars. And then I saw this as freedom. Darker, lighter, dingy, brighter. And so I changed these to horizontal. And then here's the painting that I'm going to do right here. Very simple. You know, you can make it into anything that you want to see. But that's what this journal is for, is a way to work out concepts and things that I dream, which is scary all by itself. So I'm going to paint her in Casein simply because I'm in a love affair with it right now. Okay. I've already done just a rough line. Sometimes I paint shapes and sometimes I paint with a little bit of just a line drawing, just to show me. It's kind of like north, south, east, and west, and just kind of, okay, the nose ends here, the mouth ends. So, and I had printed another girl, but she didn't express the same feeling, even if I had reduced her. I like it better when they're not looking at me. Any questions? Why is my focus going in and out today? I do not know. Okay, I'm gonna start and see what happens. And I'm gonna start. Where is she? I'm gonna start with kind of a gold. Now, Casein is an ages old. I'm gonna put just a little bit of white in it. Medium. Ages old. Milk protein was used with rocks that were crushed during the Neanderthal days, the cave paintings and stuff. I don't think I sealed this page. I may have sealed it with some clear Liquitex gesso. But what I'm doing here is kind of an underpainting in gold. And when I've painted in this book before, I've had trouble with the paint seeking in. And I don't know if that's a characteristic of the Casein or if it's because this is not really painting. I mean, not really painting. It's the Casein, a feature of the Casein. I'll get it out in a minute. Of course, it's painting. And I could put some tape down. And I thought about putting a strip here. And I thought, no, that's not necessary. So there we have it. Casein is milk-based. It goes on like a water media, which it is. And then after it cures, it's totally permanent. I love black skin or brown skin. There's so much nuance. I used a Stabilo ball to make my little bit of a drawing, and it's going to turn red, which is fine because there is red in the skin. That'll be easy enough to. And I'm just kind of, you see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of floating around, painting within the lines, just to give that. I start to say, that looks like a chin, but I didn't draw that. It's right there. Okay, so now, look at this little brush. This is what happens when you paint on things like coarse burlap and canvas and stuff like that. You'll wear the brushes down, and that's why oil painters don't have expensive brushes for the most part. If I'm doing an oil painting of a face like that, I can go through a soft watercolor brush in one session. So what you gonna do? Except a little bit of this, that, and the other. And a little bit of raw sienna. Raw sienna is not on my oil palette, but it sure does come in handy. The Casein is it's made with an emulsion, and it's kind of thick like bad sour cream, but you can re-wet it. I haven't had any problem at all with not re-wetting. I'm gonna come in with this color right here, this shape, And it comes in here. And then it comes down to where the mouth is. And comes up here. Just painting the shape now. Anything that is this kind of fleshy color. And we have this shape right here. So it goes from the middle of her eye down and then almost straight back up. Now, if I paint just shapes, I'm going to have a painting without drawing eyes in detail first. It's weird painting not the whole face. Alrighty, so let's want some white over here. And a little bit more of the yellow ochre. And I made my yellow ochre with pigment powder and the Casein emulsion. This is the medium that holds it together, like gum arabic with watercolor, and linseed oil with oil, wax with encaustic. So this uses the emulsion. It's made from a milk protein. And when kale comes in, oh, it's simple. You can buy it from Shiva, which is a Jack Richardson company, and Plaka, which I think is a European company, pre-mixes the paint. They're the only two that do, I think. So two like that. I'll mix some green. I like this color green. I don't clean my palette unless it's oil, and sometimes I forget to do that. So, first thing I do, because it's powder, is spray the palette so that it kind of keeps it from this is from Earth Pigments, and they put, well, they did on now pistachio green. They don't give you the real pigment name, nor do they tell you what it is, but it's a pretty color. So now I'm just going to dampen it a little bit. Kind of make a paste. The water being on the palette kind of keeps it from flying everywhere. Now I've got a paste. Look how this like snot. Whoops, you almost can't see it. Ah, trying to show something here. Cooperate. It will drip. There's really no formula. And it separates easy, so I'm not sure. And I just put a couple of drops. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. Yes, in the old days they made their own, but you have to go through several processes with the milk powder to get it where you want it to be in this form, and it's just worth it. Egg tempera is easier because you just get the freshest egg you can find from a local farmer and use the yolk of it. But those formulations, the handmade Casein and the homemade egg tempera, they spoil quickly. So the modern stuff is better for that now. I'm not that much of a purist. Now, last time I made my yellow ochre, I did not get it dissolved quite good enough. And I do have a Mueller, whatever it is. I'm going to spray a little water. But it's 6 inches around, and I wouldn't be able to pick it up, make it last very long. I mean, do it very long. It's so heavy. That's all I do, Dot. I'm using a Magello palette for its air tightness, and when I quit for the day, I'll get a wet wipe and lock up in there and spray the paint, and it's been working great for that. That's it. And I've got a little hole down here that I'm using that color. But I love it. And Gail asked me the other day on Tuesday about the advantages of this or the differences between this and gouache. And one of the main ones I forgot, I'll just clean that off, is that once this dries here, I can come back over it with a second coat and it will not dissolve as easily as gouache does, which makes it easier to glaze and make layers. I was going to show you. Now these have been in here for a while, but it's a similar. See, now that one's thick, but it'll come right back with a little water. And I've got a little bit of the Casein medium here. So I guess you just kind of go by feel. There aren't any rules, but they're kind of the consistency of what I mixed. Now let's pick up one of these and see. Pick up this. Yeah, that one really needs some liquid. And I think I'll put a little more, drop or two more of Casein, of the medium. I like egg white. But this is a better way, money-wise, to go. And I can always spray just a little more water. That's it. Any more questions? Oh man, I love that woad. For those of you that don't know, woad is an ancient dye. It's from what we call a weed over here. And it's kind of what the French blue is. French blue relates to that color. They used it an awful lot in peasant clothes. And it's kind of a chambray. It's a watercolor with a little bit of purple in it. But I tried 6 different blues in watercolors and couldn't find anything close to it. I have not tried it, but I've read that you can use watercolors and mix a little of the raw medium with it. But I have not tried that. Okay, now let's go to a little bit darker. See why I just leave my palette the way it is? Just use whatever's in there. And I noticed that the darker colors tend to be a little thicker. And I just keep going until I get something. And I may mix over here on the side to get something dark without so much red. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to pick up the shape under that reddish color I started with. So this shape, that's a good color. This shape is going to come right in under here. And it's going to stop about right there. And it's going to pick back up. Well, it kind of comes down. And comes across to the corner of her mouth. And it comes under her lip. And across this bottom. Like I said, I could have put some tape on there, but I didn't. I can clean that up later. Okay, and there's some over here in this corner of this darkish. When you're working from a photograph, lighten it just a little bit, like 1 or 2 steps, because cameras take what's in the cameras darken what's really there. I've got dark coming around on the nostril. Depending on where the light's coming, this dark might be here on the cheek side. And then we've got a nostril. And we've got a little bit of a drop shadow. And I'm going to come back in and do this. Again. I'm going to do this again. Doing it beforehand with that undercolor kind of helps warm this up a little. And so you can tell that that's a different color than this, and that's exactly the same. It's because of the underpainting. Sometimes, oops, there's a little bit of liquid. I use the liquid that's in the palette. That's plenty. You don't want to get too much water. Okay, now we're going into a little bit lighter value, but not a whole lot right here. Get some water. Now that reddish color kind of comes down in here, so we're just going to fix that up. I picked up a little bit of the reddish, the more reddish brown. You can use any color you want as long as it's the same value, which is the darkness. For example, I could put a little bit of this green in there, same value, and you won't see it from a distance. But up close, it makes it interesting for the viewer. I could probably get by with a little bit of red. Same thing. You can see it up close, but you can't see it from a distance. My job as an artist is to give the viewer a lot of things to look at on this painting. And it's not in the picture. I could get that if I had some lighting, colored lighting. We'll lighten that just a hair. And just scumble my way. I'm gonna make that just a little pinker right in here. Blending just a little. Now the blending can be done with an in-between color, or you can just hit the edge like a little feather and back and forth and blend it pretty good for this stage. Okay, now let's do a little bit of light. I like that little curve right there. To me, it speaks volumes of what she's thinking. The lights are what have been sinking in so much. I've had to come back over them a lot. That's okay. with a little too much light in that. I've got that a little bit too high, so let's just bring that down like this. And I need some yellow ochre. Something just a tad warmer. And I think I'm going to put just a little bit of yellow in it. And kind of comes up there. And we've got a little more warm color. A little more red, or the pinky red. It's just a juggling game. You are not ever going to get the look you want on the first pass. And that's a misconception that people have when they start dipping their toe in the water of representational painting. I like that red. When they start doing representational painting from mixed media. Painting is not a fast process. And these are basically just studies for me. I'm about halfway thinned. If I wanted to, when I get finished, make some real thick brush strokes, I could. And it would look like oil. Where that gold. I keep a wet wipe in my hand. When I finish with one dab of color, I wipe it off pretty good. Have a little bit of water. When my brush starts dragging, I add a little bit of water to it. Because if I want to paint with watercolor, I'm going to paint with watercolor. I'm not into this business of, well, can I make it look like watercolor? Well, yeah, you can, but why? Unless that's the only medium you have. Then that might be a different story. And then every once in a while, I'll just spray it in. Where we go in this. Let's be lightened up a little bit. All right, I need a drink of water, and I'll come back and answer any questions y'all have. Hey, Rachel, made it. Yeah, they're kind of looking good. My partners in crime have just come in. You recognize your papers, Miss Rachel? Lazy with different colors. I don't know if you were here a while ago when I could actually show you where I did the undercoat with one of these warmer colors up here and lighter, and then came back with my darker color. And this color was lighter than the dark by itself. So that's what helps create luminosity in oil painting and this kind of work. And it makes it look like it's got depth. I keep losing my place. Let's do a little on those eyes. I can't stand the empty socket staring at me. That's got green on it, which doesn't hurt anything. Let's put a little bit of that green in here just for grins. Now, what I was saying was that you can use any color, any chroma, as long as it's the same value as what you've got. And what that does is just adds another layer of, how did she do, why did she do that kind of thing? Green, and we're basically using a palette of green and red. And green is the opposite of red, which tones down the red. So for example, I can take this little dab of Cad Red Light and I can mix this green with it. And now you've got that. So that tones down the red, and it also cools it down. So red's warm, green's cool. It cools down that red. So cool recedes and warm comes forward. So if I want to make this recede, I'll always use green and red to kind of make that three-dimensional illusion. Because if you paint it all the same color, you're painting in two-dimension. I can't help myself. Squawk, squawk. Alrighty. Let's get just right over here. And just a touch of blue. Wipe most of it off. Now, eyes are never white. They're sometimes flesh colored. These look a little yellow, but I'm going to make my first stab a cool blue, cool white, I should say. And I think that one's right in here. Oh, Sanaya and um, Schminka both have a Casein emulsion, so it'll be easier than buying it in the States. It's not dark enough. Looks like a mess right now, doesn't it? Get my brush wet. And I'm almost always mix my own blacks. I do use a little bit of black in oil painting, but not much. And I use it to mix colors. I don't paint eyelashes, I paint the shape of the eyelash. Now this is not as dark yet as it will be. And I've got just a little bit of dark. Under the eye, there's a little bit of light on the lid. Right here. Can you see that? From the eyeball to that little light, that's like the inside of the lid. And then the eyelashes and then the dark. I meant the dark eyelashes. That's what I meant. Now this is where the eyeball is actually shaped. And then it comes up here. Eyeballs are circles. This stuff on top of the eyeball is fluff. That's the stuff that makes things look different, makes people look different. And then we have a little bit of a shadow. Not much. I think that's pink enough. There is some pink over in the side. Because that eyeball is curved. So you've got to paint it three-dimensional. The light is here. So this will be it curving back into the, on the back side away from the light. I need a richer brown. The iris also is not a hard line, it's a soft line. I'm looking at the relationship between the eyelash and the eyebrow. And the eyelash is coming out just a little bit. And now we've got just a sliver. We've got a dark eyebrow just a little. Now let's do some lips. The upper lip is always in shadow unless the light's coming from below. And I was just talking about this attitude with her little smirk coming back up here. I like that. And it curves. And it curves. And it goes down a little bit. And then this one comes down. I want to make sure right off the bat that I've still got that pretty right. Yeah, the lip's good. And we can put some little color over here. It's not showing. And if I want a little bit of red, I can use that over here with the dark. And then there's some light coming right here. Now these lights are not going to stay until I've repainted them a bunch. So that color's good. Let's go ahead and use that. And typically the light will make the upper lip make a shadow on the lower. We're not getting that right now because the light kind of is kind of like this. See, my little spot that I put right there is already gone. Let me double check the width. I'm out a little bit too far on that. It's real dark right in here where the mouth is. And kind of dark right in there. Yeah, that's about it. And because this is an opaque paint, I can alter my drawing anytime. my little light perfection right there. In and out. Now I can come back in and fudge this, add a little bit of dark right here to make that stand out better. Okay, time for a break. See what y'all are doing. I talked earlier about my Photoshop class portrait or grunge printable. I decided to make mine all with pieces of my own art. This is a pencil drawing I did in a doodle book for Prince when he died, and that's just part of the piece. It was bigger. So anyway, I am having fun with. Damn, girl, that's looking pretty good. See, it helps to look away. I need to lighten this just a hair. Yeah, I did dip into that light blue to give her a little cooler difference. That didn't make a whole lot of sense, but so are y'all enjoying watching me paint? I feel guilty when I don't paint serious. Well, I mean, you know, serious enough for a sketchbook. So I figure this is the best of both worlds. And just a touch of yellow. Ah, good. My mission in life is to help others learn how to cope with their version of life's bullshit. Sorry. Because art saved my life and I want to share that. Most of the people who need it, who need the information, are too shy to ask for it. People who need it are out there walking among us every day, silently bearing their own pain. A little bit warmer here. And I don't care what kind of art you do. If you do some art, something creative, doesn't have to be painting. If you can get good enough at it to forget where you are for a few minutes, it's what I call the Zen zone. And within that Zen zone, you give your soul permission to rest. And you'll come out from that session feeling like you've had a long nap. And that makes it easier for you to come back and deal with whatever it is. Ooh, baby, you are looking fine. Put that little bit of door in there that I covered. Okay, now I need for this line right here, and that's the eyeball line. And then ooh. Need some more of that yellow. See, I put that on there and it's already gone down in. But one of these layers soon, well, already the paper will have already absorbed as much as it's going to. Wet brush, I'm just going along that line, giving those two colors a chance to meld into each other. And because it's not cured yet, they will. That's a good spot for that blue right here. Now there's some red in there. One of the things I stress in my painting class is that without a knowledge of color, you may have trouble painting. So I stress color. The class is still half off, by the way, during this corona mess. Oh, that's a piece of paper. A little bit red right up in here. And a little bit of red right down in here. And put this back in. I need that light right here. And right here. And again, that's going to sink in. Diddle with that later. I'm going in with a damp brush, a little damper than what I had. I want a little more red. I want a little more gold. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, then we're coming up. We need some more water. Water everywhere. And this is a little bit lighter. This is how you ruin a brush. I mean, you got to do it, but a little bit of pinky. There's a line where dark meets light that shows itself to be a cad red. Photographers know all about that. I'm not a photographer, but I do like to use it. See, by the time I get around, it's already soaked in. Where's my water? Keep going. Give me a little bit down in the trough. I'm going to use a little bit of this little purplish color. Actually, it doesn't look very purple. Put some rose in it. A little bit of ultramarine. Ooh, good. Let's see. See, nobody knows it's there but me. I could put a little bit right in here. Just for gets and jiggles. And we've got that's thicker, so I will begin to be able to build up my nose is off, but so the drawing is correct, so it just means that it's a matter of paint color. Okay, now let's see, just to be kind of sure where we're going. little white on. Come on now, give me some stuff to work with. This is kind of what makes it come to life. Ooh, I like it. Now, just for grins, there's a light, a white, right up at the top. Ooh, I gotta have a drink of water. Oh, I finally got my my new heat gun. Ta-da! Wagner. If you want to do something hands-free, you just do it like that. Isn't that cute? And it's got a low and a high. I don't know how to get it back. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to read the book again. It's got a low and it's got a high. And the pistol grip means you can hold it like that or like this, and it's a lot more comfortable than my old straight one. Where's the button to put you back? Okay, well, we'll deal with that later. I researched quite a bit, and that was the one that kept coming up. Okay, let me come back to you. Ooh, she's looking good in the screen. Come on, turn. Hi, Kory. Yes, hello to any lurkers that are out there. Wow, I am tickled with that. And she's not done. I got to go back and work on some of these areas that keep fading. That's almost a blue, which could be eyeshadow. A little bit thicker. That's pretty good. Now she's got a little eyeshadow. Just a hint. About like that. Now I need some black, but I don't have black. And I can't really make black without alizarin crimson. And this rose is not as strong. Phthalo green. And ultramarine blue. Close. Not. Put some of that green we just mixed in. Let's see how we do here. Okay, I've either got the nose too low or I've got the nose too low. Another trick is to take your paper and hold it right where that nose ought to be. That's pretty close. Yeah, I'm quite a ways off, and then that will allow me to bring that when the mouth is closed. So it's two this way. So I think it's an easy fix. Let's just do it. And that's got blue in it. Now I can come back in with a background color and take care of that. Let's just do this. See, nobody will ever know that I fudged it right there. And it kind of looks like that. Now we come back in. These are just little nuances that oh nine. So now we can bring this slip up just a hair. I'm teaching y'all all my secrets. My patch job under the nose didn't really work. A little bit more of that purple. Cast shadow. The nose is just a little bit lighter down here because of the light. There's just a hint of that bright red here and there. Now what were you thinking? You weren't. When the nose hole is not altogether black either, and that comes out just a little bit. It changes in color from the deepest part to the where the light might be hidden. All righty. Wow, I like her. The only thing wrong is that this eyeball is turned a little bit that way and needs to be turned a little bit that way. So let's fix that. Close. I think as close as it needs to be. white back in there. I think that's my favorite part. And because the eyeball wasn't white, we had a lot of latitude to play with. Where the light hits that ball. And a little trick. Little moisture lines. All right, guys. I think she needs a rest. Let me get another wet wipe. Another good name for this would be Freedom. Freedom from what, you might ask? You fill in blanks. All right. There is that. Ha. Hey, Rachel. So, are you still here? Does it look good to you, Miss Rach? I sure like her. We've got some lost and found edges, which is good. I can't think of anything I would do to her, but I might later. Yeah, let her sit. Damn. See, I'm proud of myself. It's real close. I didn't get this underlip here. Y'all let me mess it up. I see a few things I could retouch. And if I wanted it to be about the ear, that's one hell of an ear. Let that Casein set up. Can you believe this? These papers match this background that had already been done. All right, I'm going to quit patting myself on the shoulder. I can't tell you how many hours it's taken to get to this point. Pat myself on the back again. All right, I don't know what to do now. I'm done with this for today anyway. I guess I could coffee stain some. Of course, there's nothing wrong with leaving a few of these bright and do babies or kids. Get out of there. I know why I did that, so I could use my new heat gun. Oh, I see. You spread it a little bit and then poke it back in there. That's a cool design. Hi, Giovanna. I am really, really tickled with that. I painted brown skin, black skin before, actually in live setting. And I always said I wanted to get back to it. Oh, he smells so good. I mixed up this coffee. It's about 3 tablespoons to a cup. And put it in my spray bottle and add a little bit of alcohol and keeps it from molding. I like my new tool. Let's get a piece of, I just want to try something. I bet it'll work. Damn it. Damn it. What color is this? Weathered wood. Use this one. It's a better spreader. Might have helped if I'd put it on the plastic side. Do some smack and dragging. Use this side. Color's really good with this. This makes a better pattern than what I did before, which was using the pad direct. I'm liking that. Now I'll have to put something on here. What y'all would like to see? Anything? Actually, a plastic palette, disposable palette would work better. But I'm too lazy to get up and go across the room to get one. But I like this color with this pink. And it just happened to be sitting there, begging to be used. It does soak into the deli paper. That's okay, because now it's ready for something else to go on that paper. All right, I'm going to put another dose of coffee. I want some stains. Now, because those are distress oxides underneath, we could get some interesting stuff. Got to use all these supplies that y'all made me buy. Did I tell you I got my new storage things in? I've got 3 sizes. This one, and then 2 that are a little bit bigger but the same depth. Because the bins that I had when they were loaded up were too heavy to do much with. I thought I would make more bins, but smaller. See how that coffee's turning gray? That's cool. Let me get out my new glue, my new gun. My one was probably 15 years old, and it was probably a fire hazard. I've got the big Dina Wakley one too. I might do some figure studies in that one. It'd be nice if this one could be all faces. What are them, Alden? I tell you what, you guys have encouraged me to do these faces, or created the environment for me to do these faces, and my skills have improved. So thank you for that. Now, we have changed that somewhat. You can see very faintly the gray or the weathered wood. And you can see where this is kind of turned a greenish color. I'm still not picking up good wick marks like this, but that could be the coffee fault. That looks good. I'm happy with that. It's true. I mean, there's different levels of being able to paint. And I've been painting faces since I very first sat down with a paintbrush. But I used to be able to get about halfway and then quit and come back another day to take a look. And now I'm getting almost to finished. Ooh, there's another bright one. And that's all it takes is showing up. I think that's why some folks who really want to learn how to paint and have been doing mixed media get disillusioned because their first one's not perfect right out of the gate. And that's too bad. Wish I could show y'all my duds. Gosh, this thing is comfortable. Wasn't expensive, I think $24. The deal was Amazon didn't ship it for a week after I placed the order. I got it today and I bought it a week ago Tuesday. I guess it's not essential like toilet paper. This is soaking in the way you want it to because that's raw paper. And over here. So my coffee's off. That's better. Better. What else have I got? Got one right there. That one's kind of been, that's got paper glued on it. Tea bags. So I've got these ready. I've got these ready. Let me have some more of that. I haven't done anything on Robyn's papers yet. This might be a good just want to make it gray a little bit. Gray it down. I could also pour coffee on this or wet the ink pad with coffee. Just like that. Pretty nifty. I like. Now on this page, I could put, I have to think about it. I could do a 2-pager like I did with my other black girl. Okay. Those look better. Because you don't want your background to take over if you're going to paint faces, which I've determined that I'm going to. So that's not too bad over 2 pages. Ooh. Ooh. What else have I got up here? I got broken china. Let's do a little broken china. It may completely look like crap, but it may also work because the orange and the blue will gray each other down. That's what I was getting at. Just got something besides squirt. It's better. Better. Blue and orange are opposites on the color wheel. So that's why we're getting a dulled look. So remember that. So that's much better. And then the oxides are graying it down even further. That's cool. Let's see what we got. Gosh, that looks a whole lot better. I like. And that one needs it too. Let's just do coffee on this one. I got the sprayer fixed. Ow. The end of it is hot, they said. It's interesting how just a little bit of that makes a look. And of course, these are, do I have a piece of paper glued down there? I may have. No, I don't think so. Look at these marks. That's what I'm after. All right, guys. I guess I can keep going a little bit. Joycey said she'd be right back. Wow. Left that little bit of red from the pencil mark. Just cause. I got some on there too. what Joyce's matcha is she's heating up. Red. I'm going to put some gray on this. I don't know why that's acting like it's... Oh, yeah. Acting why that pad's empty because I hadn't used it that much. Smacking. Maybe it was just telling me it hadn't been used enough. We'll get all kinds of color changes with the oxides and the coffee. Sure does help tone down those other colors, though. I've got to completely tear this shelving unit down beside me for my new bins. I hope it works. That looks much better. Who all's still here? I'm fixing to, I don't want to leave while Joycey's gone. That'd be rude. Rude. Sounds like that guy in the English courts. Rude. Good. I didn't want to leave while you were gone. It would be rude. Okay, I've got quite a few pages prepped, and now I just get to pick out something to put on them. See how much better that one looks? Yeah, and I did something to that too. That's got the gray on it. Look at the beauty. Look at that old woman. And that's a 5-year-old picture. That could use some more toning down. I think I may do work on this. Purple, yellow would tone it down. So we'll think about that. Well, alrighty, if nobody has anything else for me, I'm going to close it down and go in the other room and see what kind of crazy stuff's going on in Washington today. And study on my new Photoshop class. Let's open this up. I never know what the camera is going to pick up or the video is going to pick up as its headline picture. Sometimes it's a mess. Okay. Whoops. I didn't mean for that to go away. There we go. I love you guys, and good. I'm glad you did, Joycey. I'll try not to do painting every time, but that's my desire. Woo. I like this. Okay. I will see you guys next Tuesday, unless I get a wild hair over the weekend. Who knows? But I'll send out a notice if I do. Otherwise, next Tuesday, spread the word. Love you too. Bye.